Hi, everyone. Welcome to Extreme Health Radio. This is Tristan Truscott, co-creator of the Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong with my dear friend and partner, Peter Ragnar. And it's awesome to be on the show with everybody.
Welcome to Extreme Health Radio. Extreme Health Radio.
Where natural solutions to almost every health condition are out there. Join us on our journey to find them.
Now here are your hosts,
Broadcasting from sunny Southern California around the world.
Justin and Kate Stellman.
Oh, and yes, their little 10-pound wiener dog, Maggie Brown Longbottom.
I love the third bar. As if it's just more, there's more emphasis there from Maggie. Oh my gosh. Was that a helicopter I heard in that?
Oh, I think so.
It sounded like a helicopter.
It's quite explosive what we had going on with that intro.
You know what today is?
The full moon. The new moon.
What's the difference?
I don't even know. I should know.
You're a woman.
What does that mean?
Women?
All women should know what the moons are?
Yeah, the moon cycles.
I know we should, but we don't.
You know, today is?
One of the best days ever.
Always.
Uh-huh.
But
Huh?
we take the record for the most times I've peed in a day. Huh?
Do you think it really is
Oh, yeah.
by far?
Oh, yeah.
In your whole life?
Yeah.
Wow. And you want to...
I was peeing every 10 minutes.
Want to tell everybody why? You lose half your bladder? What's going on?
No, today we embarked on a one-day fast. And I have to say, for any of you out there that have done fasts...
Juice fasts.
My hat's off to you. Because I only made it through about, 3/4 of a day.
Yep. 2 out of 3 meals, which is still amazing.
Yeah. I feel pretty good about it, though.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, so we did we're embarking on a new thing that we're going to do. It's the Liquid Sunday Project. How do you like that?
I like that. Did you just name that right now?
I did.
The Liquid Sunday
like
Project. Yeah.
Can we go with it?
I think we can.
.com.
The LSP.com.
LSP, not LSD.
Not the whole other.
That's Monday.
Yeah.
We do LSD on Monday.
Oh, brother.
No, but yeah, so we were doing a liquid only. Then that's one of the things we want to do, and is do a juice fast cleanse on Sundays, liquid only.
We do, and I think it's a great way to start today. I mean, even though we only made it 3/4 of the way, that was I felt amazing all day.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do for? Let's see. What did we do? I did reishi tea.
Mm-hmm.
I made some reishi, goji berries, and ginger.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a little dollop of stevia in there, a little dollop of honey.
Good word, dollop.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, I did almond milk. And I went the full bore. I soaked the almonds the night before. Then
I can attest to this.
De-skinned them.
Yeah.
Because of the enzyme inhibitors
right.
that are in the skins of the almonds.
That was impressive.
Like that?
Mm-hmm.
So I
More patience than I'd have.
I know. Well, I equated it to when you wash the lemons, if we ever get non-organic lemons.
From people's trees and things.
You spend about an hour or two
I actually do, bathing the lemons.
Yeah, in a special liquid.
Protocol. I agree. You're right.
So
it's worth it.
Took the skins off those and I made almond milk. Mm-hmm. Opened a bunch of coconuts and had coconut milk.
Kombucha.
Had a ton of water, kombucha. And we made 2 big green juices today, right?
I don't even know. Did you have coconut milk or coconut water?
Coconut water.
Yeah, because you didn't use the flesh.
I didn't use the flesh, yeah.
And we had 2 huge green juices with a little bit of other things thrown in there, like cranberry and beet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed with myself.
I'm impressed with you. And I think that you could have gone farther had you wanted to, but I feel like it was just enough for the first taste of a juice fast.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I mean, I've only been doing natural eating since 2003, so I figured it was time for a cleanse.
You really eased your way into that one.
Yeah, it took about 10 years to ease into it. And it turns out that I finally was able to do half a day.
I love that you'll drink your own watered-down pee before you'll do a juice fast.
I know, right?
Right.
I'll do a colonic and I'll do everything.
Right.
But see, my biggest thing is the losing of the weight thing.
Right, I get that.
And I could already feel losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking earlier about how, if for women it's great because you want to lose weight. Most women want to lose weight.
Right.
And if I were to compare it to a woman, it would be almost like if as a woman you did a juice cleanse, but you put on 5 or 10 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the equivalent for me, because I'm about 6 feet 170, and I have to work out. I mean, I'm doing my max at the gym, bench press, squats, all these compound exercises. I'm lifting as much as I possibly can, and I have to work so hard just to be 170. If I didn't work out, I'd be 150.
No, yeah, I know.
155. I'd be a rail.
Yeah.
And so I could already feel myself losing weight today.
Oh, you do? I know.
Yeah.
When I did that 6-day fast, I was headed for 7, and I just tapped out at 6. That was really hard for me.
You could do 7 days? What's wrong with you? Come on.
Now you get a little taste. Oh gosh, it gives you so much admiration and respect for people who can do it. But yeah, I mean, I dropped like a ton of weight. I wasn't doing it for that, but it's just your body recalibrating. And
it's crazy.
By the way, my name's Kate, and this is Extreme Health Radio.
Oh yeah, I did. We just started talking, didn't we?
It's like we wound up and just. Bleh.
This is what the Friday shows are about, though.
I love it.
You know?
Everyone knows who we are at this point. I think if they found our show, I don't know why they'd start at this one. You know,
right.
You're starting with episode 171. I would assume they kind of know the whole dog and pony show by now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So my name is Justin.
I'm Kate.
And Kate. And this is episode 171.
And we juice episode 171.
171. And
today is November 3rd, 2013.
Oh yeah,
Sunday.
November 3rd, Sunday, November 3rd, 2013.
New moon.
And first day of the new moon.
Yep.
And if you want to add any of your comments to this show, just go to extremehealthradio.com/171, and you'll be able to add your comments to anything that we talk about. But I have to say I'm pretty impressed with myself I can't believe that you do 6 days, or you did 6 days.
I'm impressed with myself. I mean, yeah, you know what? I was in, like I told you on the walk earlier, though, that we did with Maggie. Mm-hmm. I find it easier to do things when you're in crisis mode, because I was so messed up with my digestion a few months ago when I actually embarked on that longer one. Mm-hmm. And it's just for me, it was out of just needing to get better. And I would do anything. It was almost a desperation. And necessity, it's easier. Huh? Necessity, yeah. It's easier when you are so determined to feel better and make something happen than it is to, quote, just kind of do it to prevent something or to have a good feeling or, be the best version of yourself, which I wish I was motivated equally in both those regards. But at that time, I feel like that's where my motivation stemmed from. So it was a little bit easier because I was feeling so horrible, and that made me feel really good. So...
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, I can't imagine doing it for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days.
Right.
Like if I think for me, it's like I said before. For me, it's the weight loss thing.
Yeah, I get that.
If it were like a woman thing where juice fasting actually gave you the body you wanted, then it would be a whole different story. Like if I were like I told you before, if I were to put on 5 pounds of muscle. Or 10 pounds of muscle as a result of
whole different story.
Oh yeah, I do juice fast all day long. You know what I mean? But like Philip McCluskey, guy who lost, I think it was like 230 pounds or something by switching to a raw food diet. If you want to listen to our show with him, it's episode number 5, I think it was.
God, he was a long time ago.
Yeah, he was one of the first few people we talked to, and
we'll link to him.
Yeah, and he lost over 230 pounds. I think he did a 30-day, 60-day, and a 90-day.
Like all Joe Cross, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
I know. It really puts it in perspective.
And for me, I have to say it helped doing different liquids like the almond milk, the coconut milk, the water, the kombucha, the reishi tea, and then the juice. Right.
The liquid diet fast is a bit easier, I think, than the juice alone.
Yeah.
I feel like you get to mix it up a little bit.
But if you did do a juice, like if you did it all juice, it seems like it would be doable if you did different juices each time. I have to say, that gets kind of boring. I know it does. Like on the Gerson therapy, they do a juice, an 16-ounce or 8-ounce juice every hour. Yeah. For 16 hours a day, but they do different juices each time. When they do no food, right? It's just juice in between. I have to say, I agree. That does mix it up a bit. But when I did even my 6-day one, you can only get so excited on day 3 about adding in the new fruit or a new vegetable. Yeah.
it lasts for like 2 seconds. Like, woo, watermelon. Oh, still juice.
Still juice.
No matter how you slice it, still a new vegetable or piece of fruit.
Still liquid.
Yeah, but I mean, it did keep it more interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. And so I just got ravenous at the end, didn't I, of the walk?
You kind of got the scary look in your eye that was like, I'm going to go home and eat right now. And then when you came in, you ate and ate and ate.
It was
and ate.
goji berries, coconut, sauerkraut.
Stuff my face with anything. It was all good food.
Almond pulp from the almond milk that we... and then we ended up having...
acorn squash and
chicken.
Some chicken.
Yeah, some organic not grass-fed, but free-range chicken.
I have to say, though, that was a really good... I've never seen you do anything like that with the juice, so that was pretty impressive to me.
Thanks. Yeah, you know...
I feel pretty good.
The thing, too, with juicing and these kinds of cleanses, too, I think we have to just be kind and gentle to ourselves, because it's not a competition. It's not
Right.
It's not comparing yourself to other people. It's not about trying to lose weight. It's trying to become healthy, you know? And
right.
And so...
And if you're in it for the wrong reasons, then... you're not going to succeed. What's the point of doing it if you're not doing it for the right reason, I guess?
Right. You know, and doing that is, doing it for the right reasons and just being okay with it. You know, like if I were really anal and type A, I could be beating myself up over the fact that I didn't go the third meal. I didn't go all the way till dinner. But
what are you gaining from that?
Yeah, you're just fighting. It's all just fighting, you know. You can't fight yourself and beat yourself up over stuff.
Well, I think that mitigates the whole reason why you're doing it in the first place. I mean, what's the point? Mm-hmm. You know?
I know.
What's the point?
Yeah, because if you're going to beat yourself up over it, I mean, that's worse than...
That's stress alone, and that mental, emotional energy or internally... wrestling with is going to do more damage than the drinking of the juice is going to do you good, you know?
I know, right?
What do you always bust out a calculator. What are you calculating? Let's see. How many, let me guess. You're calculating how many meals if you juiced. Okay. Which, am I screaming?
No. I was just kidding.
Oh.
Because you're making fun of me.
Oh, I'm sorry. How many, that's what you're doing, right?
Say that again?
You're going to calculate right now how many meals a year. Let me guess, for the next 30. If you did
always 30.
We're always 30, right? If you did 1 day a week of juices, replaced a whole day with juice rather than meals for 30 years, how many days and meals that has been over the course of 30 years?
You're correct on everything except for one thing.
Then I'm not going to do it with you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Your use of the verbs, because it already is calculated.
Oh,
I've already calculated it.
Oh, whoa, back off.
This is past tense here.
What do you got?
I got 4,680.
Days?
Meals.
Oh, that's right. Well, no, that could have been days. 4,680 meals.
Over the course of 30 years.
That's a lot.
That's just by fasting for 1 day.
Holy moly.
Let's see. 3 meals a day times, there's 52 weeks in a year. Mm-hmm. So in 1 year, that's 156 meals times 30 years. That's 4,680 meals. And here's the beauty of this. You basically double that, because if you're eating food, you're causing your body to have to digest that food, no matter how good it is, right?
Right.
If superfoods, whatever, it's still, your body still has to work to digest that. Mm-hmm. So you're preventing your body from having to digest 4,680 meals. But on top of that, if you do 3 juices that day, you're also getting 4,680 juices.
Wow.
So
4,000 juices.
So in basketball, when I watch basketball, when one team...
you got to have a good basketball analogy.
So when one team shoots a 3-pointer and makes it, but then the ref says, oh, his foot was on the line, it doesn't count, right?
Yeah.
Gives the ball back to the other team, and then the other team goes down the court and they make a 3-pointer. Mm-hmm. That's a 6-point swing, right?
Right, gotcha. That's what we're doing with
6-point.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 9,360
point swing.
Point swing, right? Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, what I love about you the most is you and your calculating.
Mr. Calculator.
You've always done this since I've known you. You love calculating things.
Well, to me, it's motivating.
Right.
You know?
No, I'm with you.
It's cool. I like to know that, because by doing that, let's see, how many...
You keep calculating, because I got to plug in my laptop.
You got to plug in your laptop?
It's running out of batteries.
Let's do this here. If I were to fast for, let's see, 3 days a week, or 1 day a week, that's 52 days a year times 30 years. That's 52 times 30. That's 1,560 days of fasting in a 30-year period. And if you divide that by 30 days in a month, that's 52 months of fasting.
That's a lot. 52 months, really? Or weeks?
That's 4.3 years. So if you fast on a Sunday...
For 3 meals?
do a liquid fast on a Sunday for 30 years. Mm-hmm. Over the course of 30 years, 4 of those years will be of non-eating.
That's insane.
Yeah. Isn't that
4
crazy?
years.
So if you haven't done, maybe you could start this, what do we call it at the beginning of the show?
The
Liquid Sunday Project?
Yes, LSP.
LSP.
Liquid Sunday Project.
Project Liquid Sunday.
You're changing it.
Yeah.
PLS.
Like Project Paperclip, Project Liquid Sunday.
Oh, great. Project Bluebeam. I didn't say it. You didn't hear it from me.
Project Bluebeam. Don't look that up on Google.
Please don't, because that had me up
all
for
night.
hours. Yeah, I like that. I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I'll join you. I'll join you.
Project. What is it called? Project Sunday. What is it?
Liquid Sunday.
Liquid Sunday.
It just sounds like you're drinking a bunch of melted ice cream, though. Project Liquid Sunday.
Yeah, I know. We got to come up with a better name for
We'll
that.
let you know.
Yeah, I like it, though.
We should put a special link under our blog to how we do with that and what we realized because today, as we've done that, we got the opportunity to chat with a really good new friend we've made.
Yeah, that's right.
And I felt like something about the clarity of when you do a liquid diet for a little while, even if it's just for half a day, you feel very at home in your body. And I feel like your mind and your soul disconnect in a way that is not usually the case when you're too busy thinking about what you're going to eat next.
Right.
I feel like it all goes together, and we were able to spend an hour and 45 minutes talking with our friend Pastor Nar. Mm-hmm. And he had written us an email a couple weeks ago. We read on our show. Mm-hmm. He stopped us from possibly...
He saved our life.
He saved our life.
He did.
From possibly taking...
essential oils that were not food grade.
Right.
Yeah.
And he said, and he knows a lot about essential oils, and he uses them for his work. And he was so awesome in sending us an email, and we read it on the air, and then we've connected with him off the air, and today we chatted with him for about an hour and 45.
Uh-huh.
It was an amazing conversation. I'm going to say it again. I've said it before. Pastor Nar rocks. He does.
He does.
He absolutely rocks. I had the best time talking with him today, and I just really felt like we could have talked for hours and hours. Yeah,
he was one of the most open-minded kind of guys, that I've spoken with in a long time.
Yeah, what is it? He has a website, pastornar.com.
Pastornar, PASTORNAR.com. Does Maggie want out of the studio?
I think she does. I'll let her out.
You want to let her out? Yeah, she's over there by the door, little 10-pound weenie dog. And you know what? I think she wants her ball, Kate.
Let me look.
Yeah, she wants her ball. Yeah, we're on Pastor Nar, PASTORNAR.com is the show, and he's got his own podcast, and he told us he's been podcasting since 2009, which is crazy. That was back before podcasting was even probably a big thing, and really, really cool to have him ask us to be on his show.
It was pretty honoring.
Yeah. And it was just cool. We got to talk about, things other than health and
spirituality and
some of our journey. And
yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful. Pastor Nar is going to be a really great new friend.
Yeah, it's good. Do you want to make sure that door is closed?
I thought if Maggie wanted to come back in.
Okay. Yeah, let's
just see.
That'll work. So you told me a while back that you had an interpretation of my dream.
Oh, that's right.
So now, did you want to read my palms too?
Oh, gosh.
No?
I don't know how to do that. We'll leave that to somebody who knows how to do it.
You want to read my tarot cards? Or? Look into crystal ball.
Let me see your hand. Oh, you love calculators. Yes, you will always love calculators.
That's true.
Yeah, after you mentioned your dream on the last free-for-all Friday, I think it was, I continued to think about it, and the first thing that popped into my mind...
Actually, this is a time for a break.
Cliffhanger.
We have to take a break.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody. We got to take a break, but we're going to get into Kate's interpretation of my dream.
And interpretive dancing.
Which we did a little bit of tonight.
I want to talk about that, too.
Yes, we'll bring that up.
We had a big day today.
Yeah, it kind of did a lot of things, didn't it?
Yeah, we kind of did.
Yeah. All right, so we'll take a little break. We're going to run a little ad for our favorite whey protein powder. And by the way, I have to say, during this juice fast today, this protein powder, I think, saved me.
Oh, yeah, you did do some of that in some water, right?
I started off doing it in water. Wasn't that good. It was okay. But then I put it in almond milk the next 2 times. And it's the One World Whey protein powder. And the cool thing is it's 25 grams of protein with each scoop. So,
that's huge.
Oh, gosh. So I did about 3 scoops of that today. I probably would have done a 4th had we not had dinner.
Yeah.
But I feel like it really balanced me, and it was a way to get protein without digesting anything, really. So, because it's raw, grass-fed, I feel like it saved me.
Yeah, it's a very legitimate product.
Yeah, it's good. So we're going to run that ad, and then we'll get into Kate's interpretation of my dream when we come back.
Yes, we will.
Okay, we'll be right back after this break.
Would you like to feel more energy and a better sense of well-being? What's flowing through your blood makes all the difference. In my 22 years of nutritional practice, I've found that the food and supplements taken into the body determines to a large degree the amount of energy and happiness people have. One giant step in the direction of more energy and happiness is the type and quantity of protein you consume. 2 years ago, I was introduced to a whey protein powder that gave me more energy and a better sense of well-being. Having struggled with low energy, this was a welcome experience. This protein is called One World Whey. It is the first ever undamaged whey protein powder from grass-fed cows. People report the following: profound improvements in blood sugar and energy, elimination of pain, better bowel movements, detoxification, younger-looking skin and fat loss. Athletes love the strength and endurance-producing effects. Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
And in my opinion, this is the best raw grass-fed protein powder on the market. It's developed on Amish farms. It's got 25 grams of protein in each single scoop. Crazy amount of protein. Increases your glutathione levels. It helps to release heavy metals and toxins, decreases inflammation all throughout the body, especially in the gut. And not only that, but it helps you build muscle and increase energy as well. It has tons of anti-aging properties. So really, really great protein powder. We like to use it every day in our smoothies. And our resident cancer guru, Ty Bollinger, what do you think about One World Whey?
Over the commercial there, you're talking about One World Whey. I want to encourage anybody that's listening, go to their website, go to Justin and Kate's website, and buy the One World Whey. That's something that we include every day in our diet. Every lunch, we have a One World Whey smoothie with super greens mixed in with it. It is fantastic. It's the best protein you're going to get. And as they mentioned, it's from grass-fed cows. It's organic. It's cold pressed. I mean, it is, you're going to get huge nutritive values from this One World Whey. It's the best protein on the market, I think. So then that's something that most people are deficient in is quality protein. So I highly recommend you go there and go to their website and buy this stuff. It's the best that's on the market. And I'm good friends with Stephen Hewer, who is the owner of Synergistic Nutrition, and he's a quality guy, and they have excellent customer service as well.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. We interviewed him on episode 88, and he's just an amazing guy, and I really love what he's doing. That's why I love supporting his work and love taking his products as well.
Yeah, great stuff.
And if you'd like to support Extreme Health Radio and the work that Kate and I do, you can get your hands on this One World Whey protein powder that I love so much at extremehealthradio.com/whey. That's WHEY. Or you could check it out in our store as well. That's extremehealthradio.com/whey.
100% listener supported. Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join the show now on Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. Hello. That's 949-505-9585.
Tallahatchie, Tallahatchie.
And would you have it known that I'd go to the bathroom once again during that?
Juices still go flowing through you freely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make you have to pee, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
We told Pastor Nar today we're going to have to take a bunch of breaks, and for some odd reason, we were able to talk that long without having to go. It was weird.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was like the one break during the day where we were able to hold it.
So, my dream, let's just...
Recap it.
I rarely dream, and that's something that I like to change because I love... Dreams are rad. Mm-hmm. But my dream was, for some reason, I was in our bathroom, and you and I were talking, and we're talking, I don't know what we're talking about, probably, how JFK, that was a conspiracy or something, or 9/11 was a conspiracy, something like that. Aliens, God knows what we're talking about.
I know, right?
So we're talking in the bathroom, and...
Why were we in the bathroom?
I know, it's weird.
Okay.
And I felt something on the inside of my mouth on my left cheek, like this bump or something. And so I reached into my mouth and to feel it, and I pulled out what was the size of like a handkerchief that a magician uses, on stage, those handkerchiefs. Mm-hmm. But they were lilies.
They actually weren't.
Oh, wait.
They were orchids.
Oh, yeah.
You said they were lilies, and then I showed you a picture, and you're like, no. And then we just realized between last show and the show it was an orchid.
That's right. It was an orchid.
Right.
And then after that...
And you kept pulling them out and pulling them out.
I kept pulling them out and pulling them out. You were freaking out, and it was just the weirdest, strangest thing. So I'm pulling these orchids out of my cheek.
Which I don't know why I think that would be weird or
I know, it's just so normal. And so I'm pulling these orchids out of my cheek, and then we look out the window, and we see these lights. And we sense this danger, and it's evidently clear that these things are aliens because or some sort of UFOs, something, because these things are moving all around the sky, super bright, and all this stuff. And then I woke up. That was it.
They weren't coming for us?
No, they weren't.
Okay, good.
So you had an interpretation of it.
Well, I am by no stretch of the imagination a dream interpreter, but...
You're a dream weaver.
I'm a dream weaver. After I listened to you talk about this dream on the last show and a little bit beforehand that what you had told me, I kind of just was hit with, I wonder if this could be the flowers you were pulling out of your mouth represented life, like the life-giving power of herbs and things God has put on the earth to heal our bodies. Which was interesting. It tied into a lot of the stuff we talked to Pastor Nar about, And I thought, wouldn't that be interesting? Like, you're pulling all this life out, and it's like, it's coming out of your mouth, and that's what you do. You're speaking, like with Extreme Health Radio, you're speaking life to people, and through all these guests, you're giving life out of your mouth. So I thought that was interesting that you're pulling this life source out of your mouth.
Interesting.
And you're giving it in a way that when the world, like the aliens and whatever else are outside the window that we can see, what might really be happening out there on a deeper level and stuff we can't even imagine what's going on, whether it's really aliens or not, or whether it's just like this world of kind of oppression and everything seems to be different than we think it is.
Represents
and it's hard.
danger.
Represents danger. And not even danger, and just like lifelessness and fear.
Okay.
And you're speaking life and trying to get freedom out there and hope. And I thought, interesting that you'd have a dream like that when you're in this line of work doing what you do. And maybe that's just to encourage you or to paint a picture of what you're being used for right now. I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting because that could be because maybe those aliens or whatever we're looking at outside the window represented fear.
Well, sure, I don't know who wouldn't be afraid if you really saw an alien coming toward you.
Yeah, and so, maybe there's... I don't know. That's interesting.
You like that?
Yeah, I like it.
I don't know where. I mean, that was the first thought that really came to me within the few minutes after we talked about it. But if anybody else really does interpret dreams or has any insight into that, please make a comment on the show page.
Or you could call Kate at 1-888-DREAMWEAVER. A psychic hotline.
Oh, brother.
What was that movie with Winona Ryder?
Oh, Reality Bites.
She's on the phone
with her psychic friend for 8 hours a day, racking up the phone bill.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, don't call me with your dreams because I'll probably tell you things that are not true.
That's funny. Wow.
But anyway, I mean, I don't know. I'll take it all with a grain of salt. But.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And you don't dream, so that's why it was really extra interesting to me.
Yeah,
the symbolism
I know, right?
seemed a little uncanny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
Will that work in that sentence I just said?
It will.
Okay.
And I had an experience driving home the other night.
Oh gosh.
That I don't know. Really, it's weird when you have these experiences. So I'm driving home. I was at my parents' house, and we were just hanging out. And
no, you weren't. You were watching basketball.
Oh, that's right. Having a good time. And so I come home. Okay, so I'm on my way out to the car, and then I realize you have a difficult time sleeping without me.
I do.
So
look what I've become.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I decide to tell my dad, hey, Dad, could you call Kate? Because I don't have a cell phone. I can't call her driving home. So I said, hey, can you call Kate and tell her I'm on my way home so she knows? And he did. And so it's funny when I look back and think about it now, I had to walk back and waste time doing that. Not waste time, but it took me time to do that.
Huh.
And so anyway, I take off. I'm going down the street. And the street that they're living on, I'm driving down this big hill, this big long hill, and eventually the street dead ends to a street that you can either go right or left on. And if you go right at the dead end, it continues going up another hill. But if you go left, it goes down a hill, continues going down the hill. So I'm about I'd say 300 or 400 yards away from the stoplight, and it's red. And then a second later, it turns to green. So I'm rolling up, and I'm just slowing down just enough to be able to turn, so you're not speeding.
To go left down the hill.
Yeah, so you got to slow down. And so anyway, I'm going down, and I make a left, and there's two cars coming up the hill directly towards me. One of them is making a right, going the opposite direction of the street I was just on. The other one was going straight. And what I always do is I always look. Even if I have a green light, I look. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I had the inclination to look, to make sure.
Even though it was your green light to go.
Even though it was a green light to go. And you said you were praying for me. Remember that?
That is the weird. It's not weird, but that is it's pretty strange to me that at that exact moment, I think that probably was happening for you. I was cuddled up in bed, had Maggie on my lap, and I just started thinking, I know he's probably almost home, but I'm just going to pray. I'm just going to pray for safety. And I did. I prayed for safety and for God to bring you home safely that night. And
that was probably right around the same time. But it really doesn't matter because God is outside of time, right?
But it was interesting.
I think that all that kind of plays together and it makes us feel better because of the timing.
Yeah.
But
you're right.
It was interesting because it was right at that time. I almost didn't look. I almost just went because I had a green light. There's no reason to look. But something inside me said, look, just look to make sure there's no cars coming. And a guy was speeding, ran a red light, was going up the hill. And in order to go up the hill, you have to really put the, gas on and go fast. And he must have been going 60 miles an hour. And if I hadn't looked, he swerved around me and I put my horn on and he swerved through the intersection, went right around me. And if I hadn't looked, he would have been right like a bullet right in the side of my door, my door there.
That would have killed you.
I would have been killed. I mean, it would have been an act of God had I lived, because he was screaming up the hill, and I just thought, oh my gosh,
The weirdest thing when you came home, you came in and I knew nothing at this point, and Maggie barked and went out, and you came in and you said, hey, and I said, hey, and you said, did you pray for me? And I go, yeah. And it was weird that you'd ask that because I thought, I didn't really think at that point. You acted really normal when you came into the room, but it was dark. I had candles on and you said, hey, yeah, did you pray for me? And the minute I thought, oh gosh, it just all kind of seemed a little more real. Like what happened,
Yeah.
And that was really, a huge reminder of how precious life is and how protected you were at that moment.
Yeah, because it was weird. Like normally, like I said, even if I have a green light, even if I'm coming up against an intersection and I have a green light, I still always slow down and I look both ways. Because
we've heard too many stories.
I've heard too many stories of people being killed that way, and so I always slow down and look. But for some reason, this time I almost wasn't going to look. That was the thing that made me think, okay, something made me look. Because I was almost like, I don't need to look. I just need to get home,
Right.
And so...
And it's on a dark road. Not a lot of people are out at that time of night.
Yeah, it was like, 11 o'clock? And so, it was like... It was the kind of thing where you have the initial inclination to not look. But you should, but it kind of takes an extra effort to look over. And so I almost didn't, but then I thought to myself in a split second, yeah, I should just look.
Right. What harm's it going to do?
And that's why I came in and said, did you pray for me? Because something made me do that.
That's wild.
Which is crazy. I would have been...
I don't even like thinking about that. But I'm so blessed. Like, I feel like you've taken that, and I've taken it this whole week as just, you feel like you're borrowed time, you feel like there's clearly a reason why you're still here and that God protected you. And I'm just feeling really grateful. It starts to make you think, what would life be like, if that weren't the case? And, especially even with this Extreme Health Radio thing, I think there is a reason that you're doing what you're doing. And you start to wonder, would that have been, was that something trying to take you out from doing what you're meant to do here?
Yeah. Are people, sending negative energies or something?
You wonder.
Yeah.
I'm just really, really grateful. And it makes you want to just open every day with a prayer of protection and just seeing that power of that moment where I think the timing intersected perfect, and something on my behalf told me to start praying and thinking about you too. And
crazy. I've been involved in a couple car crashes, always little fender benders caused by other people. People coming out and not seeing me and hitting me and stuff like that. But this one there was no doubt I would have been killed.
Right.
And that was pretty crazy to me.
We had a very grateful week this week, especially with even Thanksgiving coming up this month. We have so much to be thankful for.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad, obviously. That would have ruined me. But I thought I've only had one other time in my life just like that, where my safety was in danger, and my sister and I were in the same space. We were up at a camp, but completely different parts of the camp when something had happened to me. Mm-hmm. And she, at that exact moment that I was in danger, felt the exact same feeling, and she just started praying for me. And that's exactly when I think the shift happened. It took me from what could have been deadly or absolutely horrific to something that here I am today. And when she found that out, and she felt the need to come running to the other side of the campus to find me. And it was just one of those moments where you're like, gosh, wow. Either prayer changes things, like actively, like in time,
right?
Or, what is that? Or God always had that for you, and he obviously knew it was going to happen, but he just wanted you to ask me, what is the lesson in that? I'm still working through those things, and they're very powerful though. Yeah,
that's the thing, is what is the lesson here? Like, what's the lesson to learn? And that's where you really want to get is, nothing happens by coincidence.
Yeah.
Whether you believe in God or not.
Right.
Whether you believe in, just the law of attraction in the universe, and like Greg Braden talks about the field, the universal matrix, or if you're a fundamentalist Christian or Islamic. I mean, no matter what, it's my belief that nothing happens by coincidence. Nothing. Yeah. And so finding out what the real reason is, there's a reason for everything.
Yeah.
And so that's where you want to get, is figuring out, okay, there's a lesson here. Is the lesson for us to always be mindful and praying for each other, or is the lesson to be grateful and appreciative for every single day we have? Or maybe it's all of the above. Or is the lesson, just living in more awareness, being more grateful, or I don't know. I don't know, but it's pretty interesting though.
I'm really, really, really thankful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's thanks for praying for me.
Well, yeah. I feel like your work here is just beginning. So, I had a moment with Chris Kaler when I worked with him a few times at the beginning, and one of my health issues that was going on with my liver, he told me that I wasn't healing because there was a spirit of sorts that was basically owning my liver and wanted me dead. Something wanted me dead and wanted me taken out, and that's why I was going for my liver, where all life comes from. Wow. And he helped with energy medicine release that. I actually felt it leave my body. I don't know if I've told this story on a Free For All Friday, but
I don't know if you have. Yeah,
it literally, my body moved as I felt this thing leave. It was like an exorcism.
What did you feel in your liver when that happened?
I felt this push back on my body. I was in that chair that you're sitting in, your office chair, and my body kind of shoved back, and it literally, at the same time my body felt like it was going back, my liver just, it's a strange feeling. It lifted a heaviness, and just, I felt like my body was just released, and I can't explain it any other way. But I watched that one happened to be on a Skype call where I could see Chris Kaler. He had his camera on, and he was using his energy tool, and I could see him pointing it at me. And I thought, I'm going to close my eyes because I don't want to. I really want to see if this works, kind of thing. You know how you try to test things. And I don't want to know if he's using anything to make me feel like I'm imagining that I'm being pushed back or whatever.
Right. There's like all these psychological things.
You go through all this stuff because it's different. I mean, I'm the first to say it's a weird experience, and you don't know if you're believing it and feeling it because you want to believe it or feel it, or
right.
And it was a new experience. I think it was the first or second time that I had met with him. But anyway, after I felt that shove, I happened to open my eyes and look at the screen, and I see his head like kick back. And he shook his head and he opened his eyes and he goes, that sucker hit me on the head on the way out. He was like, holy cow. Like, he couldn't believe the power of what that was, that spiritually that just had happened to me.
So what did he say? It was like
he called it a henchman.
A spirit or force or something?
An evil spirit that was inhabiting my liver.
Inhabiting your liver. And did he say why it wanted you dead?
He didn't say why, but I'm assuming when you're dealing with maybe the forces of good and evil, of course, evil doesn't want you to thrive and live and
do good things.
Yeah, do good things and not to thrive in my own health, but also not to be. I think it's because in the last, since I've worked with him, maybe 5 months has gone by since that time, or 6 months, and I'm a whole new person in how I feel. And in feeling better, I'm able to give back to Extreme Health Radio, and I'm able to feel motivated to dream again. And so I have all these things swirling around in my head that I'm super amped on, and I feel alive for the first time and healthy for the first time in years. Literally years, because I felt so sick on a low grade level without really knowing how sick I felt.
So the two things in your life that have kind of changed, been like almost like rocket boosters, has been the initial cleanse you did a long time ago, right? Remember,
a couple years ago.
And then
with a naturopath.
Chris Kaler was the second one?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Like it kind of took you to another level?
I know it took me to another level because the minute I started working with him, and I'm not just saying this as glorifying another person. I think on a spiritual level, he helped me. On a physical level, he's helped me, but on a spiritual level, I've really reconnected with a healing source and power in my life that I'd been not open to, I believe. And I personally think it's God doing the work, and Chris Kaler is just the tool being done. But yeah, absolutely. He's been the biggest thing for sure this year, if not in my whole health life, that has helped me get feeling good again.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And along with a lot of the tools, like I don't know. Are we taking another break right now, or
do you want to take a break now, or do you want to go?
Well, because
do you want to say something about the tools?
I could tell the story about the neutralization ring really quick.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll take a break.
Yeah, so I've mentioned this before, but Chris Kaler had sent me a negative energy neutralization ring, an energy neutralization ring. Is that what it's called? Right?
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
It's just funny.
I know it sounds.
I can totally see our house in 10 years. We're going to be just the lunatics.
I don't care. They work.
Yeah.
He sent me this.
Clay pyramids
eggs,
everywhere.
Right, crystals.
Yeah. Crystals.
Our bed's elevated to like 90 degrees. We're sleeping strapped against a wall for some reason. Upside down. Like
it's going to get bad.
Bats. But he had sent me this ring after I first heard about how sick my liver was, and he said to use it for a lot of different. You can use it, over your food to take out a lot of negative energies and all this stuff, and you can stand over it in your body. Actually, my body, when I had this ring, it actually would sway and do weird things, kind of like when I had my initial meeting with him.
And mine did too. Remember?
Yeah, yours too. You really feel this energy surge in your body.
Yeah.
So I used it for a certain time. I've put it over my liver for certain times when I felt sharp pains and nagging things. Well, the other night, was it last night? Night before?
Yeah, 2 nights ago.
I started to have a beginning of a migraine. I've only had a migraine once in my life, really, really bad, like 10 years ago, where you start to see the prisms and the weird spots and
I've never seen
light in your eye. You haven't had that? I had it once, and then I really realized how, it is the worst thing anybody can go through, I think.
Yeah, I've had something once. Remember at the gym, I had that.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe it was a strain in my neck, or it went to my head, and
you must feel like you're going to have a stroke or something,
huh? It was really bad. So I can imagine that's what migraines are like.
Oh,
it was so bad. I couldn't even move. I had to sit against the wall in a separate room for about 10 minutes just to be able to move. So yeah, you were starting to get one of those.
I was getting one of those, and I, when I had it 10 years ago, it was the nausea and the vomiting and all that, and you just want to die and get in a dark room and crawl into a hole. This one, I could start to see out of nowhere. I haven't had one of these in really years. Mm-hmm. I saw the light starting in the corner of my eye, and it's weird because you look around and you can't. It's bizarre, and then you close your eye, and all I saw was like light. So I'm like, I'm not going to be able to go to sleep because can't even close my eyes. But my head was just starting to get a headache, but it was more like a sinus pressure. It was causing my eye to get all funky. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, what can it hurt? I'll stand over the neutralization ring.
Yeah, why not?
And I stood over that thing. You were with me.
When all else fails.
Neutralization ring.
That's right.
Within 2 minutes? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think it's gone. I'm in the dark. I have a candle lit, but I close my eye, and sure enough, 2-3 minutes later, all the little light and weird prism things I was seeing in my eye completely gone. I stood there another few minutes over it just to make sure, because I wanted so badly to go to bed and wanted to make sure this thing was cleared. And it seemed to be. And so I laid in my bed and I laid on my back. And Sid Singer would be proud.
Right.
And I laid on my back and put the neutralization ring right over my eye and my face. And I went to sleep like that. I remember moving it maybe a half hour later when I turned over, which I'm trying not to, but I did. And completely cut it short, curtailed it.
Really?
Never had another one. Never came back and was gone. I'm talking, that was an experience.
Of course, stuff like that it's so hard to say.
I know.
I mean, of course it's anecdotal and it could have been coincidence, but
right.
I mean, why not?
Right. I was so grateful. I'm like, whatever's healing me, I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, because it's almost like, if you write all that stuff off, it's not going to do you any good, because if you, yes, it could have been purely coincidental that happened, mm-hmm. But if I were to get a migraine, I would do it. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, all you do is stand there.
Right.
All you have to do is lay down with it, sitting on your forehead. You don't have to do anything. So,
right.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But
right, and before that,
last time.
Well, and before that, I had tried when I was in the shower and it all started. I tried different acupressure points in my hands, because I'd heard that there's certain things that help release that headache, and they've helped before. When I start to feel a slight headache coming on, nothing, and the lights just kept getting weirder in my eye.
Wow.
I mean, if you kind of feel like you're going blind in your eye, it's really disturbing.
Wow.
So I thought, I'll try anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have told me that drinking dirty sock water would have helped it go away, I would have tried it.
I know, right?
So anyway, it's been an interesting week.
Yeah, it has. Lots going on here.
I know.
Golly. Mm-hmm. Well, let's take this break. We'll come right back. We're going to do an ad for our favorite course, Qigong. And,
gosh, I know.
We just had a great episode. What episode did we have?
It's 160. Hold on.
169?
Wow.
Is that right? With
170.
170?
Yep.
That was just our last one.
Just the last one we did. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can listen to episode 170 or 127, or better yet, just go to our store, and we got both interviews there along with our commercial there, and you can check out more information about the Qigong product. So we'll be right back after this break. I have to say, I have been absolutely loving this product by Tristan Truscott and Peter Ragnar called Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong. If you want to listen to the interview we did with Tristan, you can go to extremehealthradio.com/127. And Qigong is a great way to de-stress the body. And as you know, there's a huge component to disease caused by stress. And stress is a huge factor in how we live our lives and the amount of energy we have and the amount of vitality we have. And so, Dr. Shade, what do you think about Qigong?
People come to me and they're really sick and they got this blown out neurological system and all this toxicity, and I tell them, you need to do Qigong, Tai Chi, you need to do these things that settle down and restore your neurology, because it puts together all the parts, it puts you back into that state where you can start to detoxify. And so I highly, highly recommend all that.
And what about you, Kit Campbell? What do you think about Qigong? Do you like it as well?
Qigong is amazing. And the reason that I believe it to be amazing is everything here is energy. That is a scientific fact, if there ever is one. So when you're practicing Qigong, you're actually drawing energy into your body. Your intention, whatever your intention is behind any action, will determine the level of energy, type of energy that you absorb into your body. So your intention behind is very important, just like thought. So when you're practicing Qigong, you're actually bringing energy in and you're bringing out the stuff that might be a bit stale. With Tai Chi, it's totally different. The energy runs underneath the skin because it's more of a martial. This is the Chinese understanding, by the way. It's more of a martial art. So Qigong is very, very good for bringing that energy into the body, and just fantastic.
If you're interested in picking up this Qigong course by Tristan Truscott and Peter Ragnar, go to extremehealthradio.com/Qigong. That's QIGONG. And you can learn more about it. There's a great video on that page, and you can learn more about it on that page. And I highly, highly recommend this product. I love it myself, so go ahead and check that out. extremehealthradio.com/Qigong.
All free shows, all the time, on Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join our community today. Call using Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. That's 949-505-9585.
You gotta throw a little dance in there after a heavy conversation like that.
That's right. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm dancing. Speaking of dancing.
Well, I want to tell people about the live show here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, but I want to, let's get into that. So we're moving more and more towards the live show. And as the lady said there, you can follow or you can send us a message or call us on Skype at Extreme Health Radio or 949-505-9585. And that would be a great way to join the shows on the Free For All Friday shows, which are soon to be on Friday, 9 a.m. on Fridays. So make sure to look out for that. And that would be a great thing to do. And also, don't forget to sign up to our newsletter series. If you haven't done that, we're giving away this really, really great ebook. I really like it a lot. It's called Lessons from the Miracle Doctors. And it's our free gift to you. And you can download it immediately upon signing up. And it's really cool. It's about 177 pages, and it's written by John Barron. And he is a really prolific kind of natural health practitioner and has a huge website, has his own radio show, nationally syndicated around the United States, and he's been a pioneer in the health industry for a while, and he wrote a great book called Lessons from the Miracle Doctors, which gets into all of the natural cures that are available, how to do coffee enemas, how to do colonics, how to take care of yourself, how to detoxify your body, all kinds of really, really great natural health principles to really kind of kickstart your life. And even if you've been into natural health for a long time, it's got lots of great protocols on how to do them like that. So it's available for $20 if you want to buy it on Amazon, but we can send it to you for free if you sign up. extremehealthradio.com/subscribe. And also, as the lady said, or actually, check out that Qigong course too that we just ran the ad for. Really, really good course. We use it every day, and it's by Tristan Truscott and Peter Ragnar. Mm-hmm. Really, really great. Truscott, yeah. And they're just great people doing great work. So don't forget to check that out. And so we're moving towards a live show. We need to get our sound guy in here to figure out how to hook up our audio with the live show, because we have it. If you go to extremehealthradio.com/live, you'll see a chat room there and our upcoming show schedule, and you'll see a little player to when the broadcast is happening live. You'll see it. But the problem is that the audio quality is
less than desirable.
Less than excellent. So we're going to be moving towards a live show. So just to let you know that. And you want
Although our little sound demons have gone away.
They have.
It's amazing.
That's true.
I love it.
I know.
First of all, I get a kick out of when you say, as the lady said. She needs a name. We don't even know who that is. Marge. As Marge says.
Babette.
Follow us on Babette. I feel bad. She's somebody we don't even know who she is.
I know. She's probably a nice girl, too.
As the lady says.
She's
the lady. I liked it.
That's not nice.
It makes me happy when you say it, though.
As the lady said.
I giggle inside. Not out loud, because it's cute.
So what were you going to say about dancing?
Well, tonight, gosh, I just hope it's... I don't know when we're going to put this out, but hopefully somebody can catch on to the last part of this, but tonight, Yvette from Maryland had sent me an email.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a week ago, telling me about something called the Red Tent Revival. And so I checked it out and signed up, and it is a free 5-day festival online about women's issues, women's kind of regaining your womanhood, femininity. I didn't know if it was going to be cheesy or what I was going to think of it, but it's pretty good. And tonight was the first night. You watch it live. I was having a problem signing in, and because I think the server was probably just overloaded and bombarded.
Overloaded, yeah.
The women all around the world are watching this, and it's if you guys are getting this show before the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, or 7th.
Yeah, what is it now? September 3rd?
3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. It will still be going every night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, correct?
That's right.
And the ones that you miss, if you catch this in the next couple of days, are free. They run free for the next 24 hours if you want to catch up. And then I'm sure after this is all wrapped up, she'll be selling them on DVD.
She might sell it on... Yeah, I'm sure she would sell it.
It's pretty interesting, though.
Yeah, it's...
and it involves dancing. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah, and what's the website for it?
The redtentrevival.com.
THE? Like it's the Red Tent? Yeah, okay.
Yep, THE.
The Red Tent's Revival.
The redtentrevival.com. You might want to check it out because it's something like... I've never really seen anything like that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it kind of targets women and gets into regaining your femininity and understanding...
And really taking back charge of your life and reducing the stress. And like you and I were talking through dinner about it. It's sad that there has to be something like this to remind people to be living these lives we should be living anyway, with this low stress and high vibrancy and
I know, right?
Luster for life. And but it is motivating, if anything, just to be encouraged that we're all in this together, as Drew Cannoli would say. And it's exciting to be re-inspired and motivated to get off our butts and do something.
I know, it's cool because it's really strange because like we're saying that, it is so weird that there needs to be such a thing, like people really shouldn't have to do a 30-day juice fast. I mean, that's not natural, to do a 30-day juice fast.
It's a little extreme.
It's extreme.
Right.
But we need to because of how toxic our world is and how toxic our diet and lifestyle is.
It's all the extreme things being done to us. You have to fight back with extremity.
Yeah.
Or your extremity is just your arms.
Extreme, measures or something.
Yeah, extreme measures.
But so something like this, although it seems very strange that there would have to be such a thing, and it does seem very strange, but I'm starting to think there's nothing weird anymore. There's nothing strange.
We're watching some of this trippy dancing on this thing tonight while we're making dinner, and we're like, well, a couple years ago we would have thought this was really cheesy and really weird, but hey, whatever.
But it's only weird because we're so disconnected from our past, and what we were talking about was the fact that over the period of time, women most likely used to be doing ceremonial dances around the moon cycles and around the fire, especially hundreds or 300, thousands of years ago.
Right.
These were all natural things that women would get together and bond and talk about these kinds of things and do these ceremonial things. But it's weird to us just because women are basically the same as men today. Mm-hmm. Very dominated by testosterone and
men are basically regressing to women. Not regressing, but you know what I mean? Like they're becoming all estrogen.
Yeah. So it's derived. Yeah, so it's like this masculinity that's happening to women and this femininity that's happening to men. And so I don't know. I think it's, a lot of women could get some value out of that,
Yeah, it's worth checking out. I haven't watched the whole thing, so I can't vouch for what I think of it exactly, but I thought it was interesting and post some kind of cool conversation pieces. And
speaking of that, it kind of leads right into your retreat that you're going to have, right? I'm
going on a silent retreat.
I know.
Never done this before. I'm taking 3 days next week, and I'm headed off to the hills of Santa Barbara.
Like a vision quest.
I'm calling it my vision quest.
Yeah.
I'm regaining, I just want 3 days of listening to my internal voice and God and figuring out, I have no expectation. My expectation is just to go and be still. And there's a labyrinth and there's a quiet, there's just a garden under the trees. And I'll just be on this campus doing my own thing for 3 days. I've never been away for 3 days by myself. And I just feel like the noise and chaos of my job and things are just kind of added up to this moment of me really needing this. And I think I'm just going to have some really great moments and some clarity upon returning. So yeah,
because when we were talking to Pastor Nar today about just kind of where he lives and where we live, and he said he grew up here in Southern California. And where we live, I mean, it's very loud. I mean, we don't live in a city like Los Angeles or something like that.
It's like a village.
But yeah, it's just very loud, and there's a lot of people crammed into a small area, and it's difficult to get land and space and be around nature. I mean, we could do it. We could go drive a few minutes and get out on some trails or go to the beach, and we could do that. But just being where we are, there's a lot of noise and a lot of that kind of thing. And then you go to your work and you get people talking to you and more noise.
And pollutants. It's just so
it's a
big
for you,
noise fest.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah, I don't know if my brain will even know how to. I mean, I'm actually, imagine this, I'm going to attempt to sleep without white noise, which I haven't had in 10 years because I always have a machine going and we have AC going and a fan going. Not the most natural thing, but I am thinking, this is either going to be really, really good or really, really not able to work for me.
Right.
So there's a lot of things I think that I'm just going to have a little bit of an awakening to.
That's great.
Yeah, just to become aware. And I know we're not supposed to sleep with a ton of noise anyway, so maybe, I mean, unfortunately, where we live, we have to have noise at night because we'll hear fireworks and car alarms going off.
And scooters going by.
And scooters. 65-year-old men riding scooters down the street.
There's the beach town for you. So, yeah, I think this is going to be really good.
Well, thanks. And I really appreciate you just being so encouraging of me going. I mean, it's really neat. I don't like being without you and Maggie and my life and all the fun things that we do and talk about. But I think I'm going to come back with more to hopefully offer you as well as me and the world.
No, it's important, because I think as men and women, we lose ourselves in our roles, I think. And men lose themselves in their work. And so do women now these days, and that's sort of what we're talking about, the masculinity of women. And we lose ourselves in these roles that we create for ourselves, which are basically just stories, right?
Right, that we tell ourselves.
Yeah, we tell ourselves that we are these things, and so we have to act in a certain way and behave in a certain way that makes other people happy. Right. And so, you get involved in these roles that you play each and every day, and you really lose sight of what am I doing? What am I doing in this life? Why am I working this job? Or why am I putting up with this relationship? Why am I allowing these things to, quote, seemingly happen to me? And so getting away and number one, it's almost like a meditation, getting away and being okay with the silence.
Absolutely.
Being okay with just being with yourself with no phones, no internet, just some books and some quiet time, and reconnecting with that part of yourself that allows you to dream like you did when you were a kid.
Right.
Like, what do I want to do?
I want to play and dream. I just want to have that space again.
Yeah, like remember we were watching that documentary the other day, and it was talking about how the Disney Corporation is basically robbing children of having any kind of imagination.
Oh, right.
Because remember, Walt Disney's whole thing was Imaginary Land or
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland. And when you see Halloween costumes, kids are always some sort of Walt Disney character. They're never a creation of their own imagination.
Right. Something they've seen before, and someone else has dreamed them up for it. Dreamed it up for them.
And so as a kid,
you're fed your dreams.
You're fed your dreams, but you do naturally have your own dreams as well, but they, over time, get taken from you.
Right.
But what you're going to do, I think, is so cool, because it's going to take you back to your source and just being
Thank you.
able to look and see what you want to do and what your creative side has for you,
Thanks, because I feel like it's there and it's underlying. I have not had the space away from my mental chatter just to be able to indulge in it. And I feel like 3 days is going to be the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
I feel like 2 wasn't enough. The number 3 kept coming up. And so I felt like I needed to listen to that. And I feel like I'm going to be able to come back. I don't know how much I'll share because some of it might just be for me. But I know that's some really amazing, I think that's why I'm calling it my vision quest. I know it's not like a term I made up. People use it all the time, but I'm really excited to see what that is and dig deep and to see what happens. Let it come naturally. So,
and that's cool to not go into it with any expectations.
Thanks. I'm trying not to. I think my hope, it's not even an expectation, but my hope is that I'm not going into it in these silent moments having to kind of be filled with a little bit of wanting to dig up the past and deal with like emotional traumas and things that have happened to you and make sure I've let all those go. I want it to be more of like because I feel pretty good on that level, but there's always things that we could go deeper with and try to heal from. Yeah. I don't want it to necessarily be a healing thing as much as a dreaming retreat. Yeah.
More connecting with what your desires really are.
Right.
And where you want to go in the future. 'Cause like you said, you could always dig up things in the past and the past is what it is,
Right.
And so for you to be able to just move beyond and do that, that's really cool.
Well, thanks. I'm excited. I read when I was doing my coffee enema this afternoon, I was reading the Women Who Run with Wolves, of course, one of my favorite books. And I'm in a part again where she talks about basically the grieving stages and our battle scars and our wounds as people. And she said, obviously the first couple years after losing a person or a thing or something that meant something to you, that is typically the major grieving stage. And then after that, life kind of returns to a new normal and you always grieve it, but not to the level you did at the beginning.
After the first how long? 1
to 2 years, generally. But she talked about how things throughout your life, you can always bring that up and grieve it again. You can always just grieve in a new way. And if you think about something too much, things that you're even healed from, doesn't mean you're not healed of it and set free. You could still grieve it. It could still bring up that feeling when you think about it.
If you really think about it hard and you could really bring up all that again.
It brings up all that. So, and it wasn't in a bad way. She just said like, we spend our whole lives grieving in different ways. It's just different seasons of grieving and different, I don't know how to put that, but she writes that book again is just amazing. Women Who Run with the Wolves. We'll
put a link to that on this.
Yeah, it's great. I'm going to take that on my retreat with me too, because I just continue to get so much out of it, underlining certain parts and but yeah, I don't want to so much do that as make the space to really listen. I just want to be quiet. I want to listen. I want to get connected with earth. I want to walk barefoot and ground myself and just listen to the trees. I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So speaking of coffee enemas, let's talk about your liver or your tumors that you had and your incessant quest to take sticks and poke around and
talk about putting me on the spot.
We talk about this stuff on this show. That's
okay. Well, yeah, I know. I wrote an email to Chris Kaler last week and I said something about this and this is happening. And he's like, I'm like, I hope this doesn't gross you out because this is what I'm seeing. And he's like, Kate, I deal with people's poop for a living. Nothing shocks me. Nothing grosses me out. I thought, I love that man.
That's hilarious. So you've had some pretty crazy experiences with coffee enemas.
Right. So I don't know exactly how long I was doing them solid. Then I took a few breaks. I do them in cycles now, but I've been on the kick again for about a week. Mm-hmm. And the last couple cycles of doing them consistently, I've had bizarre things coming out.
You said you had something that resembled a fleshy colored thing that had tentacles on it?
Mm-hmm. A monster in my body.
That is crazy.
I have had probably 4 or 5 times where I've done them where I have these things floating in the water. They float and they're little round balls of flesh, fleshy substance, kind of like raw chicken. Ooh. I know. And I've fished them out with a kebab skewer, put them on a paper towel and sorted through them. And yeah, they are some kind of flesh. And when you unfurl or uncurl them, there are little things that look like little arms and tentacles coming out of them. Yes, in my most recent one, there was a few of those, plus one that looked like a little bit different. I took that out and looked at it, and on this, it had a hard, like a greenish gray, darker, like almost like a piece of meat gone bad, or like a cooked chicken liver. A little bit hard when you touched it,
like gray kind of.
Kind of gray, like a coating on the outside, like a protective layer. And then when I flipped it over, it was fleshy with tentacle-looking little things on the inside. And I thought, I bet you anything that was a tumor, whether it came out of my liver or out of anywhere else in me, that had broken into pieces. It looked like it maybe had been like a whole piece at one time and had been torn apart, broken apart, and was coming out in chunks.
How big was each piece?
The size of like 2 goji berries. It wasn't as big as a grape.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it was like a raisin.
Like a raisin?
Like a bigger raisin.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's enough to trip you out.
How long were the tentacle things on?
Oh, they're short. They're a little,
Like as long as the raisin itself, do you think? Like
probably half the size of the raisin. There was
half the length of the thing?
Probably there was like 3 or 4 of those coming out at different.
Oh man.
It almost looked like a science project, like a sea anemone or something. Blah.
Yeah.
It was gross. There was that, and then I've seen multiple worms. Yeah. Things that look like worms. I've taken pictures. If I get the guts, I'll post it on my blog. It's pretty disgusting.
Wow.
But I Google imaged what comes out in a coffee enema, and it makes mine look mild compared to what some people have.
Oh, really? It makes it look mild.
I think so.
Should people be prepared for some disturbing images if they do a search for what comes out of during a coffee enema?
It's not a good thing to watch while you're eating, or I just be prepared. There's some bizarre stuff out there, but I love that I didn't feel alone.
Yeah, because you have a friend, right, that you share these stories with.
Yeah, and actually, I wrote the day after I took a picture of one last week, I wrote to her and said, because we had been on a hike the day before talking about all this, and she showed me a picture of what happened when she did a liver flush and saw these stones and things that looked like they had tentacles too. And I said I had things that looked like tentacles, and she said, next time you see that, take a picture. Well, I had a tentacle and a worm come out, and I took a picture. And I wrote her. I couldn't bring myself to forward it without asking her first. I said, do you want to see what I had come out this morning?
Oh my gosh.
And she goes, heck yeah. And I sent it to her, and she goes, whoa. She was surprised and said, yeah, that's when you know you're really good friends. You're really good friends if you're sending pictures back and forth of that kind of stuff. But,
oh my gosh.
But you know what? My gut has never felt better. I always felt like I had something after I'd eat. I can only describe it as like something wrapping around my organs and squeezing them. Some disgusting feeling of just like this discomfort in my liver / digestion area. I think it's worms.
Wow.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, people lose, incredible amounts of weight.
I know.
From expelling worms.
I felt mine though. I felt like that's what was happening. Like I was feeding the worms. Wow. Like I feel like they would get hungry, and that's when I would, if I wouldn't eat incrementally, like graze throughout the day, I would feel this tightening where I just like wanted to like bend over. I can't explain the feeling, but it was like something in my body was like, feed me. It was like this parasitic. And then after I eat, I feel a little bit better, and then a couple hours would go by and I'd feel bad again. This went on for like the last year and a half.
Wow. That's crazy.
My work with Chris Kaler and my coffee enemas have been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Especially this year.
Yeah, the coffee enemas are powerful things. I do one a week. I was supposed to do one today. I didn't get around to it. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But they are just powerful things.
Yeah, they are.
I mean,
I suggest them. I mean, we've had numerous guests that have. I don't think we've had one guest on, have we, that has said that they don't think they're a good idea?
I don't know. I'd be interested to see what Constantine says about that.
Oh, that's right.
Did he mention coffee enemas? I don't know.
I remember.
Konstantin Monastersky wrote a book called Gut Sense. Is that right? No. No, his website is gutsense.org.
Right. He wrote Fiber Menace.
Fiber Menace. Yeah, we'll put a link to that. As well as The Woman Who Ran with Wolves. And another book about vision quests that I read a long time ago called The Vision.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I'll take that on my thing with me.
By Tom Brown. Great book.
Okay.
But anyway, Konstantin wrote a book called Fiber Menace, and I was curious to see what he said about coffee enemas. But yeah, you're right. No one has really said they're bad.
Yeah, I haven't come across a lot of opposition to them.
But they are just powerful things, and people use all kinds of different things: baking soda, MMS, salt. You
were just recently telling me that. I didn't know. I didn't know any of this a year ago, and now I'm finding out all the things you could shoot up there.
Wheatgrass.
Oh no. But when you feel this good after trying these things, it's like you're willing to try anything. Again, I will do anything, and I will do things that I thought would have disgusted me even 8 months ago. But hey, here I am, new me. I'm pretty darn excited about it all.
Yeah, it's It's interesting. When you start down this path, you don't realize that if you continue to chip away at it, continue to try new things, new foods, new protocols, new stuff like this, over time, not only do you try new things, but your desire to try new things increases.
Completely. I couldn't agree more.
Openness to new things. So over the course of time, you do more things, but then all of a sudden you want to do even more things because of the things that you did actually somehow expand your mind or they make you feel good. So you want to actually start to do more things. Then you start learning about all the things that you could do.
Right.
That you're not doing.
Right. Like
chelation therapy, IV, vitamin C, ozone therapy. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Right.
Of the things that you could try and do. And it's quite a fun journey because you start thinking, how good can I feel?
Right.
How young and flexible and how optimistic can I get,
Completely.
It's pretty cool.
That reminds me of, we had Peter Ragnar and Tristan Truscott on this week. Just the last episode, right?
Yeah.
170?
170.
And talk about, Peter Ragnar's got to be in his 70s. I'm thinking, I don't want to put an age on him, but...
Yeah, my guess is mid to late 70s.
But my gosh, talk about young... seeming, looking, vital man.
He's got more hair than I do. That's not fair.
He has more hair than me. Both of them do.
I know, right?
Lucky guys.
Yeah.
But I thought, isn't there such a difference between most people you see in the world and a guy like Peter Ragnar?
Yeah, I just watched a video with Peter Ragnar the other day, and he's been practicing Qigong for 60 years.
My gosh.
And he's been doing meditation, I think, for 50 years, along with his incredible diet and his workout routines and his martial arts and his energetic work that he does. And that guy, I mean, he looks like he's, what does he look like, his early 50s?
Totally.
If that, probably early 50s.
Yeah, I think that's what I'd put him at.
Yeah.
I feel like another part of it too is that he does, as Tristan was saying, kind of go into a recluse type situation. He likes to retreat into his mountains and Smoky Mountains, I believe.
Yeah,
up in there in Tennessee, I think. I think there's something to be said too about retreating to a more mellow way to do life, and I think that's a huge part of the aging process and the craziness that we live in.
Yeah, because all this noise, being surrounded by all this noise, it's just not. It disrupts our energetics of our body. It disrupts the natural rhythms and our not our endocrine system, but our electrical system in our body. All these noises and stresses and things. It's very unnatural. And so reconnecting in nature is almost like, healing this assault that we've had over our whole life of noise pollution, of stress, and this unnatural environment that we live in. Going back to nature is almost like, getting back, and it's almost kind of heals old wounds, And
that, I think, besides doing that, it almost gives you a 20-year facelift without doing anything. I think that's why Peter looks the way he does. I think that there is something on a physical level, like even with your looks, that affects. Like,
yeah,
people don't look haggard and beat down when they're in nature as much as when you do. And if you do, it's because you're out enjoying the sun.
Yeah.
But in general, I think it completely brings your looks to a new level. I mean,
it was interesting too, because I think we mentioned this at the end of that episode, but we had a couple times, actually quite a few times during that interview. We probably didn't catch it because we did some fancy editing, but there were a lot of times where the calls cut out, and we were trying to reconnect with Peter and trying to get this 4-way conversation going through Skype, and couldn't do it. And during the whole time, they were just the most mellow, centered, calm, happy, easygoing, laughing about it people. And this was all off the air. It was just cool, It
was really cool.
Yeah. I don't know. That was really cool.
I felt that sets a tone whenever we have a guest like that, which is most of the time. It sets the tone for my whole day. Like when we're done, I go, here's how some people do life on this hand, and here's how people like them do life.
Right.
And which side do I want to be on? Pretty much their side, because, I mean, they could have we all could have reacted poorly to a situation like that. It was frustrating. It took 3 times as long to get the interview done.
Right.
But it's like we all just enjoyed the ride, and having that come through on their end is just, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Inspirational.
It's cool when you talk to people who are living what they're doing.
Absolutely.
You know, you can tell that these people are centered, are calm, are peaceful.
Centered is a great way to put that.
Yeah, they're not going too high, too low. It's just really cool. I mean, they're actually living, they're eating and doing a diet and doing the whole thing, what they preach, and it's cool, you know?
Yeah.
So Emu writes in.
Who did?
Emu. Hi, Justin. I listened to the rebounder comments you made saying you use it at night. Does this keep you too energized to go to sleep, or does it help for insomnia? Usually it is said, excuse me. Usually it is said to not exercise before bed. Just wondering what your thoughts were about it. Also, is Kate using it? What is her results on it?
Oh,
we love our rebounder, don't we?
Yes, and I have I've used it for sure.
You're using it a lot more now.
Yes, but I am on a path now. Like sometimes I go through these phases, and then when I always use them a little, like kind of how I dabble in yoga, and then when I go full on into it is when I start seeing results, and I feel like that's where I'm at right now.
If you're interested in the rebounder that we recommend, go to extremehealthradio.com/Bellicon. That's B as in boy, ELLICON, and there's some videos on that page you can watch. But we love rebounding. Let's see.
It does energize. I do it in the mornings. I don't like feeling like I get going that much in the evening. I'm ready to wind down. That's more of a sauna biomat time for me. How do you feel?
That doesn't seem to have a problem for me. I've never done it like and gone straight to bed. You know, the most I've done it before is, you know, I do it and then maybe I'll lay on the biomat for a while, or I'll do it and I'll do some reading and then go to bed. Typically doesn't affect my sleep at all.
I have to say though, Emo, Justin's like a superhuman when it comes to doing things that normal people don't do, because you can have a full chicken turkey dinner with everything you've ever wanted, and then 10 minutes later get on the rebounder, and I'm like, gosh, that would make me throw up and make anybody throw up. And you're like, oh, it doesn't affect me at all. And then do it for 15 minutes. Yeah. I don't understand. So I also think you're able to somehow do these things before bed that somehow you can get beyond that maybe most people wouldn't.
Right.
So I don't know what you got going on there, but I guess the only way to really know is to try. And I guess there's different things that work for all people. I'm completely opposite than you, but.
Yeah, no, that doesn't, it doesn't really help for insomnia either, as far as I know. I mean, I guess it all depends on what your thing is. Like Kate just said, I mean, she can't do it before bed. I can. My brother, for example, he can drink a whole thing of coffee and go to bed.
See, yeah, I know.
I've never really been a coffee drinker, so I don't know if I could or not. But you know, most people can't do stuff like that. So
I can't do a coffee enema and go to bed. I'm wired.
Yeah, I feel the coffee when I do a coffee enema too. My heart will start beating.
You feel energetic.
But so it all depends. But the rebounders are just incredible for stimulating the lymphatic system, because the lymphatic system, there's no pump for it. And I think you have 3 times as much lymphatic fluid in your body than you do blood.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's something crazy like that. And
oh my gosh.
That's where we store all our toxins. You know, you go to the doctor and they'll check your neck, they'll check your armpits, because if your lymph nodes are swollen, that means it's protecting the toxins. Like if you cut your finger, most likely the lymph nodes in your armpit will swell, because
so weird.
It's protecting the toxins from
going
into the most important part of your body, which is your chest and your stomach.
Your vital organs.
So, but there's no ability for the body to drain the lymphatic system. So that's why rebounding is so important.
Which I know, but I was reminded of a lot this week, because I actually found a lump under my left arm, in my lymphatic, and I have been doing the rebounder, and in the last 2 days, it has definitely gone down.
That's cool.
So yeah, I think I'm fighting off some sort of little infection, but it's definitely helping. I was curious to see how that would go.
Yeah, that's cool.
So anyway.
So do we have any other questions? I think you have one, right?
Oh,
okay. Let's do, I think I sent you 2.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I can find him.
Let's see. I'll read one from Megan really quickly.
Okay.
What is your opinion or recommendation on going to Mexico to a certified Hal Huggins dentist. I would like to get it done in the States. I'm near Los Angeles, but had a quote of, wow, $12,000 to remove my fillings, while going to Mexico would be a fraction of the cost. I was looking on spending less than $4,000 to get them taken out. Wow. Let's see. Remove my fillings. Yeah, I would go to, there's a guy in Mexico that was referred to us by Dr. David Jubb and David Wolf, who are pretty prolific guys. And so they recommended a Dr. Javier Morales. And let's see here. I'll pull up his website really quickly so we'll put a link to his website on this show page too. But yeah, his website is biodentalstudios.com. And if you want the link to that, you can go to extremehealthradio.com/171 or 154 and go to the bottom where I answered Megan on that. But Dr. Javier Morales, he's got some really, really competitive prices. He's a biological dentist, and Dr. David Jubb called him the best biological dentist in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty crazy.
We're really fortunate we live close to him, actually.
Yeah, so we'll have to go down there and see him. We see Dr. Nunley.
Dr. Stuart Nunley.
Stuart Nunley, healthysmilesforlife.com, but we'll go to that one too and try him out.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
I'll have our teeth wrenched on by a few people.
Yeah.
As you would say.
Yeah.
Are you done with that one?
Yeah, go for it.
I have one from Yvette here. She said the detox I'm doing is www.mineraldetox.com. As to whether or not it's working, I really don't know. I plan on getting lab tests at the conclusion of this detox. I just believe in this kind of stuff and have faith that it will work. I undertake many of my health building endeavors by tuition, and of course I'm interested in finding out if the facts will bear me out. I learned about this detox through Kevin Trudeau's radio show podcast, which they have recently shut down, Yvette.
Wow.
Yeah, let us know, Yvette, how that works out for you. I'm thinking, I believe, pretty much along the same lines of what you said. If you kind of just have faith that it works, it seems to have a better effect of working.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I'm always interested to follow up with actual results and see what comes out with that kind of stuff.
So mineraldetox.com. I'll have to look into that.
I'll put a link to that too.
That's cool.
Yeah, so people can check
thanks,
that out.
Yvette. Oh, and Yvette's the one that told you about the
Red Tent Revival.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So Yvette's switched on here.
Okay.
I have another one. Do you have another one?
Yeah, I got another one.
Okay.
Let's see. Brenda writes in, "Hi, Justin and Kate. My first time emailing you, but I've been listening to your shows for quite some time and enjoying them. I've been doing coffee enemas on and off for a few years as outlined in the Gerson book, boiling it in a glass pot on the stove. So I decided to dig in and find the answer to the best type of coffee to use. I just called the Gerson Institute in San Diego, and they started selling coffee on their website, which is supplied to them by Cafe Mam. It's lightly roasted. Gerson.com or Gerson.org / I'll put a link to that.
Coffee enema.
Yeah, it's a big long link here. When I asked them about S.A. Wilson's coffee, that's the kind that we talked about, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that Troy recommended when he wrote it, I believe.
That's right. Gosh, you have a good memory. Troy? Wow.
It's because I've done hair all these years and I have to pretend to remember. I can't pretend. I have to remember people's details about their lives or they get offended.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
When I asked them about the S.A. Wilson's coffee, they said they used to use it in the clinic, but since it is barely roasted, that means that caffeine content is very high and some patients were reacting to this. But it's great for people who don't get jittery. Okay. If you go directly to S.A. Wilson's website instead of Amazon, you can buy it very cheap. 1 pound is only $8.99.
Oh my gosh.
usastore.sawilsons.com. And that's it. usastore.sawilsons.com.
We'll put a link.
And by the way, I called Health Force about 6 months ago to ask them why they had maltodextrin in their vitamin C. And they said they were planning to remove it in the future.
Nice. So she answered Stella's.
Yeah.
Look at me in my memory.
My golly.
Coffee enemas are clearing out my worms from my brain.
That worm came out of your brain. come out of your nose.
Oh gosh.
From your brain.
That's a pretty picture. That was Stella's question, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I didn't know what the heck they were thinking about that, but
Maltodextrin. Do you guys know about maltodextrin? Anybody know about that?
Yeah, if you do, please.
I don't know what maltodextrin really. I haven't.
Clue us in.
I mean, people don't like it. I'm sure people say it's bad, but I don't know what it really is or.
If you don't know what it is, that can't be good.
Yeah, if you have any thoughts about what maltodextrin is, go to this page, extremehealthradio.com/171, and leave a comment. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on maltodextrin. But yeah, cool stuff. Thanks, Brenda.
Yeah, thank you, Brenda.
Yeah, really appreciate that.
You actually took my email. That was mine.
Oh, was it?
I'm glad you read it, though.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's good. I have no more.
Oh, okay.
I do have some fun facts.
We've got one from Ashley here. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to read the whole thing, or let's see? Okay, she says. Let's see. Okay, she says, I suppose I should clarify better. I meant the speech that is on your donation page about tips, good work, your life work, etc. Oh, she said that was in reference to, she made a donation to us and listened to the little audio we have on our donation page. Mm-hmm. And so that's...
we didn't know what she was excited about, but that was it. That was nice.
Yeah, that was cool. Thank you, Ashley, for the donation. That's awesome.
Awesome.
I will let you guys know how Tim is doing. I want as many positive vibes going in Tim's direction as possible. In addition to Dr. Vickers, I have another possible idea for someone to have on the show. I posted this one on one of your videos yesterday, but I think you guys should see if you could get Mark McAfee from Organic Pastures on the show if you want to. Oh, and by the way, everybody, if you make a comment to our YouTube show, typically I can't respond to those comments. Not that I can't, it's just that I have a most difficult time keeping up with emails
as it is,
as well as Facebook too. If you send us a message on Facebook, the best thing to do is send us an email and we'll get back to you. But it's just hard to keeping up, with all the different places people can leave comments.
Right.
But she says, Mark McAfee from Organic Pastures, he sells raw milk dairy and high quality beef that isn't just chuck. It's all the cuts of the beef ground into good organic meat. It's all grass fed and organic. And from what I have heard and seen, Mark McAfee is very passionate about his work. And yes, health really does lead to some strange things. I started my whole journey because I had parasites in the very beginning. Never thought that I would have been treating myself for parasites. I hear
you on that.
Dude, I know, right? Mm-hmm. I never really thought that this would happen, but I felt extremely blessed that I did and that it happened to me so young. Like I said, I'm only 21 and I feel very thankful that I did not develop anything worse like cancer, heart disease, etc. before I was led to natural healing. I've had a fair amount of unpleasantness, but it's all been so worth it. I've heard your wife say on one of the shows that since she has started caring for her health, she's had all kinds of problems and gotten sick a lot. Well, I have a similar experience, and I also have digestive issues like her as well. It's nice knowing that I'm not the only one, and that has this issue. Laughing out loud. I suppose I'm not super worried about it because I know I have faith in my body, that my body is just trying to correct itself, and I know the same is for Kate. Thank you for the videos. I look forward to watching them. I think I sent her some videos on crystals. I hope you and Kate are having a nice sunny day down south. Don't stop doing your shows. I can't get enough, Ashley.
Oh, Ashley.
That's cool, huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
You and I read that earlier together out loud, and we were thinking, gosh, if we at 21 had been turned on to this stuff, we would probably be a little bit different at our age now.
I know. Feel blessed, Ashley, that you are so young starting this. I didn't even wake up to start eating raw food until I was 27.
Right.
And then, I've been 10 years into it now. And so starting at 21, that is just amazing.
You're getting a jump start. Don't give up. I mean, I still go through valleys and peaks with my digestion, and I'm on a good season right now, but don't ever think that how you're feeling on a bad day is how you're going to be, because you're making strides, whether it seems like it or not, and you're way ahead of the ball.
I think it was Dr. William Wong on our show who said there are, I think, 2 times in your life, two 7-year periods in your life where your body displays the most significant amount of aging that it will ever display. Not that it ages the most, but it in that 7-year period you age more than any other 7-year period in your life. And that's from 27 to 34.
Is that true?
I don't know. This is what Dr. Wong said.
Oh, okay.
And
right.
sometime in your 50s. I forget what the date range was in your 50s. But there's 2 periods in your life where you display the most significant times of aging. And so I'm fortunate. I woke up at 27, but to wake up at 21...
21.
That's just awesome.
That's just such a... I don't know.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I was going to say a word that I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue, but...
But the cool thing, too, is that even if you're 51 or 61 or 71, it doesn't matter because the amount of change that you can have happen in your body, if you're willing to put in the work... Yep. Because it's work. It's a lot of work. It is work. It is a lot of work.
Yeah, this stuff just doesn't happen.
Right.
It takes...
a lot of effort.
I can't talk. Yeah, it takes...
A lot of open-mindedness, right?
That wasn't the word at all I was looking for, but yeah.
But it does.
No, it's true.
It takes a lot of desire and work and effort. So to wake up at 21 is just pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's cool.
Right on.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thanks, Ashley.
And let's see, we have a fun facts with Kate.
We do.
There it is.
Now join us for Fun Facts with Kate.
Oh, man.
Where you never know what the heck is on her mind or gonna come out of her mouth.
Okay, half the time, I think that's true. I don't even know what's going to come out of my mouth.
No?
Like tonight.
You don't have a sensor?
My sentences trail off. Well, yeah, I mean, talk about worms and strange things, but sometimes it's like, I do this where until this radio show, I didn't realize I just kind of trail off and I can't finish my thought. You've always kind of made fun of me for that, but I go, something I'm becoming more aware of. And it's when you're putting on a show and talking, you realize you can't just trail off if you weren't there to bail me out.
Yeah, that's why it's hard.
I just did it.
Yeah, it's
hard.
Yeah, you want to know where you're going and all that.
But it's good to become aware of because now I'm able to work on that, and that's a good thing. It's self.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have that self-awareness.
Self-aware, yeah, and I'm able to work on it. Okay, fun facts about apple cider vinegar.
ACV.
Apple cider vinegar, it's a good article I found, should be a staple in every home. It has a wide variety of uses, and you can't beat it as far as the low price. That's true, actually.
Yeah, what is it, like $3?
Yeah. We use, what is the kind we use?
Bragg's.
Bragg's, yes. Apple cider vinegar, or ACV as I call it, is antifungal, antiviral, and antibacterial. I knew all that, but here's what I didn't know. You can do this. To aid internal health, you can make this. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey, along with 1 cup of water. You can drink 1 or 2 times a day of that for 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Have you ever heard of this before?
Wait, say that again. 2 weeks?
You can drink it 1 to 2 times a day for 2 weeks on, and then you do 2 weeks off.
Wow.
And then maintain by drinking 3 to 4 times a week thereafter.
So what's the concoction again? What's the recipe?
2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey, and a cup of water.
Wow.
And then this person recommends it because they're a believer in too much of anything isn't usually the best. So that rotating on that cycle is probably the way to get into it. Wow. Here's what it does, though, for you. This is crazy. It's a long list. Prevents flu and stomach illness. Dissolves kidney stones.
Wow.
Detoxes the body of heavy metals and toxins. Regulates pH balance in the body. Helps relieve nausea. Helps relieve heartburn or chronic acid reflux. Helps relieve asthmatic.
Wow.
Helps relieve allergies. Helps relieve gout. Helps lower glucose levels in diabetics.
How could that be with honey?
Right?
Interesting.
Well, I think this is just even apple cider by itself.
Oh, okay.
Helps weight loss by curbing appetite and breaking down the fat. Helps relieve migraines. Helps relieve sinus pressure and infection. Lowers blood pressure. Lowers cholesterol. Kills cancer cell or slows their growth. Reduces inflammation. Relieves arthritis.
Wow.
Is that all it does? To aid external health, the other one was for internal health, you can mix 50-50 apple cider vinegar and water, which we do. You can appropriately apply with a cotton ball, soak, or spray onto this affected area. So you can use it for that, which is crazy.
Wow.
It gets rid of buildup on your scalp, which I've heard about, never done. It conditions your hair and detangles it. It gets rid of fingernail and toenail fungus, works to clear up fungal, bacterial, and viral rashes, soothes bug bites, gets rid of warts. Put ACV on a cotton ball, cover with a Band-Aid, and leave on overnight, and do that for 1 week.
Wow.
Balances pH in the vagina, relieves yeast infection. I did know that. It says you can douche with 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar mixed with 2 cups of water, and it must rebalance the good bacteria.
Wow.
And helps reduce and prevent acne, although it's warns you not to get it in your eye.
Wow.
Whew, that would hurt.
That would be less than desirable.
So there's 25 uses right there for apple cider vinegar.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I know. We should put a link to that.
Yeah, we'll put a link to that. That's cool.
So there you go.
Wow.
Those are some fun facts about apple cider vinegar.
Fun facts with Kate. And guys, stay tuned for the live shows coming up. Hopefully we can get our sound guy in here and, we'll be able to do that. And so all of our shows are recorded at 9 a.m. Pacific time, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and soon to be Friday. So every day minus Tuesday. And eventually we might do a Tuesday show too. I think we're gonna do that. That'd be fun. And so, yeah, we're going to start doing that. And during the live shows, during the interviews, we won't take calls. We'll take chat messages. So if you want to send in a message via chat, you can listen and chat in and join that way. And we can ask your question, hopefully. But during the Free for All Friday shows, you'll be able to call in and we'll be able to chat if you have any health questions or any health issues. We can have people call in. Health challenges. So let's say you have a problem with arthritis and we can't really help you, but people in the chat room can, or other people can call in if they have some ideas about arthritis. They can call. And so kind of pooling together the entire community and using the knowledge that we all have,
the
resources into one sort of show and be able to help you guys with all your health challenges. So something that we're looking forward to in the future.
Yes. I'm actually really excited about that. Kind of throws a new...
Yeah.
See, look, I'm trailing off.
Yeah, I want to be able to talk with people, It
throws a new dynamic in.
Yeah.
Look, I finished my sentence. It's because it's night. We never do these at night.
I know. Clearly we haven't gone to radio broadcasting school, have we?
That or I have worms in my brain. Probably both.
Worms in your brain. So I think you had, I think we should close out with a quote, right?
I totally have an inspirational quote.
What do you got for us?
This is by Dr. Steve Maraboli.
Who?
I don't know. Dr. Steve Maraboli?
Maraboli.
I never heard of him, but it's a great quote.
I like it.
There will always be fear. Do it anyway. Let your courage inspire the world around you. Pretty cool.
There will always be fear, but do it anyway.
There will always be fear, but do it anyway. Let your courage inspire the world around you. And then I like how underneath the quote, there was a few lines from him, and he wrote, "You are braver than you can see. Choose to live in freedom over fear. You have the ability to persevere. You have abundant courage. You can choose, and you deserve love and happiness."
Wow, that's cool.
I feel like I need to say namaste.
Namaste. Yeah, that's cool.
Pretty neat quote.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
Wow. Yeah, let your courage be... What is it? What's the quote go?
There will always be fear. Do it anyway. Let your courage inspire the world around you.
Inspire the world
Isn't
around
that true when you meet a really courageous person, somebody who's brave and doing something? It does inspire you. I mean, I think it makes people want to do things they never thought they were capable of. I know when I act excited, when I am truly excited about things going on in my life.
Yeah.
At the salon job I'm at, people leave different. Like, I think they, the start of the conversation to the time they leave the chair, it morphs into something not only positive, but I feel like people sometimes get, and I myself from them in return, feeding off of their new energy, feel like a kick as far as get out there and there's hope and there's a whole world out there waiting for you to be the brave one and the courage to do something different. And
I know. Because if you're willing to step outside the box and do something that really takes courage, not just from a perspective of you taking a risk, but more so if you're doing something that's different than anybody around you, any of your family, any of your friends, and you're really putting yourself out there and doing something that's really kind of edgy and kind of, risky, most likely the people that are going to be judging you are the people that really wish they were you.
Right.
Because they see the courage that you have to do this thing, and they wish they had that.
It might not look like that, though. I mean, from my own experience, when you do something outside the box that people don't know what to do with, you feel judged. It's the people that even though that's probably, like you said, I think what's truly going on is sort of a jealousy in a way.
A jealousy, yeah.
But there's always going to be the people that are craving seeing those things in people, and they're the ones that are going to respond in the positive way, and they'll keep you excited about even when you feel kind of shut down by your own bravery, because the people closest to you maybe aren't responding in the way that you would hope they would.
Right.
So either way, get your answers and your motivation from where you want, and keep going and keep being the brave little toaster.
Yeah, because screw it, you only have one life to live, right?
Right.
Just do it. And let the chips fall where they may. Let other people have their judgmental attitudes.
Let other people deal with themselves.
There you go. There you go.
That's not very positive.
So thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If we can help you ever in any way, please let us know. You can email me, Justin@extremehealthradio.com.
Or Kate@extremehealthradio.com.
That's Kate. And if there's ever anything we could do, just let us know. And if you guys would do us a favor, we would be so grateful. If you could, this show, as the lady said earlier, is 100% listener supported. So if you could donate a little bit of money, we do all of our shows for free. Everything we do is for free, basically. And, we're basically working for you for free. And if you can send or manage to send a couple dollars, $5, $10, $15, $20, the average is about $20 that people send. But anything you can, if you can send a few dollars, that would be so helpful.
We hate asking for money. We absolutely hate it. But
it is what makes the world go round, and we do need it.
Unfortunately.
Those worthless Federal Reserve notes. But we need them.
We do, actually. We're by no means, like we talked to Pastor Nara, I mean, honestly, we're not living high on the hog one bit, and we're scrounging to make it work, and we know it's what we're supposed to be doing, but it's hard. And we really could everything that comes our way is appreciated, just to alleviate the stress that could come from taking this huge risk in our lives.
Yeah, because I basically am doing what, I guess what that quote was saying. I left a job that was well-paying, and to pursue this full time, and a lot of the financial burden is now on you. And so by your generous donations, it really helps. It just really helps pay the bills for all, this entire show. It helps to allow us to be able to live, and so.
And here we are, thanks to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it works out, It
totally does.
It completely works out. And if you're not in a financial position to donate or don't want to, that's totally okay.
Yeah.
There's no obligations here. Don't want to make anyone feel bad. But if you could, as a secondary thing, or as well, please share our shows on Facebook. And that would be so helpful to us, because that way you could, do a little bit of advertising for us, marketing, because we don't have the budget for that, so we just rely on you guys. So if you can, share our shows with your friends on Facebook, that would be huge.
Yeah, anything to get the word out, to just spread. What we're trying to spread more than anything is health and hope.
Yeah,
so
options.
Anything, spread options. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so enough about all that. If you can, do you have that quote still up?
I do.
Let's close with that as the final piece, because that's such a great quote.
Okay, hold on.
Hold
your horses, people. All right.
Here we go.
There will always be fear. Do it anyway. Let your courage inspire the world around you. You are braver than you can see. Choose to live in freedom over fear. You have the ability to persevere. You are abundant courage. You have abundant courage. You can choose, and you deserve love and happiness.
listening to this episode.
It's time to go for now, but our mission does not end with this show.
Justin and Kate will be back with another interview packed full of ideas, discoveries, and unique ways to regain your health.
Head on over to extremehealthradio.com/subscribe and instantly download our free gift too that contains cutting-edge strategies to start making healthy lifestyle changes today.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even as you educate yourself in the field of live food nutrition and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers or listeners medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition. While information in this blog